Hello, it's Alice from Rock Paper Shotgun, and I'm here with...
Matthew, also from Rock Paper Shotgun.
And we're welcoming you to Murkmire.
Oh, it's exciting.
It is, it's a new
zone. I wanted you to say, welcome to Murkmire, like, welcome to Jurassic Park, and then we'd all marvel at the majesty of this area.
I mean, it's pretty murky.
It is pretty murky.
Yeah, so this is a new zone in the Elder Scrolls Online, and it gives you 8 to 10 hours of new zone story, 2 dells, 2 group bosses, 2 objectives, a bunch of independent content quests, and 3 sets of dailies.
Well, that sounded like you were reading that from some notes, Alice.
Never.
Oh,
all in my brain. I remember this.
But rather than kind of dig into some of those specific kind of quests and bits and bobs, I think you're going to give us a general tour of the area. You were shown around this by Bethesda people?
Yes, I was shown around this by zone lead Ed Stark and lead content designer Jeremy Serra.
Oh, and now you're going to give me a tour based on their tour.
I am.
It's like the Chinese whispers of tours.
Yeah, so I hope I've got everything right.
Oh, I hope it changes and it ends up like, this is a monster called Dave, I think.
No, but you're not going to believe one of the names of the monsters later. You're going to be like, no, Alice, that's not really a name of a monster, is it? And it is going to be the name of a monster. So,
well, let's kick off with monsters then.
We'll kick off with monsters. So, there are some new little cute things that aren't actually... They won't attack you. They're called mudhoppers, and they're cute little catfish, like lizardy things. They
these little creepy things on the floor.
Yeah, they like squirm around. Is that cute? It's cute, yeah. They can't harm you. Wouldn't you want one as a pet?
What's his point then? What does it do?
It just adds to the aesthetic of Murkmire.
Right.
So I will point out that it's quite dark at the moment, and this is the afternoon in Murkmire.
Is this the afternoon?
Yeah, this is the afternoon. So
it looks bleak.
It's very bleak. Murky.
Oh yeah, I get that.
Oh, okay. Well,
I need a pair of those special glasses that cover you. What's that thing? There's that light that cheers you up. That's what you need.
Yeah, I do. I do genuinely need one of those.
Oh, do you need one of those? Oh, right. Well, yeah. So you can get glasses that beam it right into your eyes.
Oh, you can. Yeah, no, I wouldn't get them. I'd be scared of blindness.
Yeah.
But there are also these swamp jellies, which are also non-aggressive, but they can be pets, and they kind of light up the environment. So there are a few animals like this that kind of give a bit of vibrance to this dark, gloomy black marsh. Swamp jellies,
Sounds sweet.
I mean, you could probably try and eat one, but I don't think they'd be very sweet.
I'm not putting that in my mouth.
It's probably for the best.
These are all good. I want to see something violent. You've shown me lots of pets.
Okay, sorry. I'm starting off with the cute stuff. So we've got some Hackwings, which are these big beastie pterodactyl velociraptor type beasts. They're easier to defeat in groups, but they have put them in the environment to be hard to deal with because there tends to be more than one of them. It's kind of this whole point that Murkmire defends itself from enemies with all of its animals.
I guess you're not necessarily... even though it's home to the Argonians, if you're an Argonian, it would still attack you.
Yeah.
It's not like you get a free pass.
No, you don't get a free pass. But
it's rough.
It is pretty rough.
The Argonians have a pretty rough time in this world.
So there's also these horrible Bog Blights, which just sound horrible.
It does sound grim.
They're basically just undead Argonians, which are full of swamp gas. So they're
bloated corpse.
They're kind of bloated, but they've just kind of got this gas around them, and they're just they just look like regular zombie Argonians, but gassy.
Grim.
Yeah, they're dead Argonians that haven't been buried properly, or
how do you know this?
I learnt some lore. I'll tell you about necromancy later.
Right.
Or a necromancer has brought them back,
right.
Taken their stakes that keep them in the ground, and therefore they have become zombies.
That makes sense.
And this is a bear lizard.
Oh, I'm guessing this does what it says on the tin.
It does kind of, yes. It's a
bear
that looks like a lizard, yeah. So in in Murkmire, they will either name something with a bunch of consonants, or they'll just look at it and they'll go, what does that look like? A bear lizard. And they'll call it a bear lizard.
That's their process.
Yeah, that's their process. They'll either call it something you can't pronounce, or they'll call it what it is on the tin, basically.
Yeah. Well, it's kind of cute, but I see that you guys are attacking it anyway.
Yeah. Well, you got to attack us otherwise.
Fair enough.
And next up, we've got these little weird flubbery things called vorplasms.
Who are those people down in the corner?
Yeah, they're vorplasmic corpses.
No, the people down in the little camera view. What's that about?
So my capture...
They're not the vorplasms.
No.
The graphics on them are amazing.
My capture failed for this.
Oh,
so this
right,
is from This is from Bethesda's run through.
Oh, okay, fair enough. Thanks for explaining.
It was the exact same walkthrough I had.
I thought one of the new baddies was just like a guy in a t-shirt.
4 people on a sofa, like, oh god, how am I going to kill these? Yeah, sorry about that. So that's just taken from their YouTube channel.
Okay,
but I wanted
enough.
to show you them anyway because they're like weird flubbery jelly things, and then they've got reanimated dead Argonians, which also have the 4 plasm around them, which are called 4 plasmic corpses. And they're
Of course they are 4 plasmic corpses.
Good name, isn't it?
Yeah.
The green jelly, the green slime thing you can see, can actually divide and multiply as well. So you start off fighting 1, and then you'll be fighting 2 or 3, but all from the same one. So
it looks like there's a lot of stuff trying to kill you. What about like the plant life? Swamps, like in my head, are quite deadly places just because of the environment.
Yes. So every swamp is a little bit different that you'll come across, so none of them are completely the same, but there are plants that can try and kill you now. Here we have a scuttle bloom, which is actually the least hostile, and a direct quote from the guys was, everything in Murkmire is trying to kill you, even the plants.
Oh, Jesus.
So you just gotta watch your back, basically. But you can interact with these ones, you can disable them and get resources from them, you just have to creep up on them, otherwise they'll just
pull out their
disappear
innards.
Yeah, pretty much.
Precious plant innards.
Yeah, but they still glow like enemies, so you don't actually stumble into them.
Oh, that's good.
So you can just like hold back and traverse around them if you want to just sneak past them and not get involved in any way.
Yeah, it's quite a risky prospect, the whole swamp setting, because normally, like when I get to a swamp level in games, I'm like, oh no, not a swamp. You know, it's kind of like sewers and swamps.
Yeah.
Are kind of 2 of my least favourite things.
Do you not like being bogged down?
No, who does?
No, I know.
No
Well,
one's
this
like,
is
yes, slow sucking mud. Woohoo, I can't wait to walk slowly.
a good thing about this is you can ride your horses through the water still.
Oh, okay.
So you don't have to dismount. Normally when you hit water in ESO, you just dismount. But this time you can walk through the shallow water, and if it's any deep water, there are normally bridges that go over it, so you don't have to dismount.
That's very, very kind of them.
They have thought about people disliking bogs and swamps and stuff. So it's all good. It's all good. Back to the plants.
Yes, sorry, I'm distracted.
That's okay. So there are lantern mantises, mantici. So a lot of these plants are there next to bigger enemies to try and like throw you off the scent and to help you die.
Right.
Basically. So some of these, like there's a big Wamasu beast over here, but luckily they're not paying attention. It's usually a boss creature, but it fits in with the environment in Murkmire, which is why they've just put it just roaming around, which is great. Murkmire sounds like a horrible place to be.
Where even the common enemies are secretly bosses.
Yeah.
Grim.
Yeah, and then there's a catapult cabbage, which kind of does what it says on the tin. You run up to it, and it will catapult you. And it looks a bit like a cabbage.
Harmless. It looks like one of those little plants that you sometimes people have in their sort of toilets. You know, like not a cactus. They look like, is it like an aloe vera type thing?
Oh yeah, I've got one of those in my bathroom.
They sort of look a bit rubbery.
Yeah.
It looks like one of those.
Yeah, it does a little bit.
That's the thing. My mum would probably buy that to put in the toilet. And then it would just start catapulting us all around, and we're like, I only came in for a bit of toilet roll. Jesus Christ.
And now I'm in the bath.
What have you done, Mum? So I was looking up Murkmire on TripAdvisor, and one of the key tourist destinations is that ship stuck in a tree. What is the deal with that?
So we didn't find out what the deal is with that ship in the tree, but the only way to find out is by talking to characters and reading books, as to find out how and why it got there. Unfortunately, so you have to do a lot of reading and you have to play the game to know how it got there.
Oh, so there's like lore kind of built into the environment. You can learn this stuff. Yeah, okay. These don't look like swamp huts. What's to do with this?
These aren't swamp huts. These are actual imperial houses. So because the coast of Blackmarsh is constantly shifting and changing, Argonians are able to adapt to this by building stick huts and not building anything permanent.
Right.
However, when the Imperials tried conquering Blackmarsh, they put this wall up, which is over here, and then they started building houses. But because the Argonians know how to fight back, they hid in the swamps and fought with guerrilla tactics and let the swamp do the work, basically.
Oh,
as we
now
know,
you
the
can
swamp's
just
quite
explore
deadly.
all their messed up imperial homes.
Yeah, so their houses are quite like waterlogged now. They've sunk. They're covered in moss. They're unlivable. Some of them caught fire and then sank. So it's a bit of a mess. But the Argonian architecture, they know how to do their stuff now.
Are you into all this lore?
I'm quite into lore, yeah.
Okay.
I didn't realise I really was until I started doing this video.
Okay, and then you were like, I am interested in the
this.
tidal movements of the Black Marsh.
Well, yeah, I've even looked up the moon wanings.
Oh my god.
Haven't really.
Moving swiftly on.
So, Argonian architecture, so they don't care about permanence. However, they did used to in the pillars made in the time of dust, which are these pillars.
If you could hear yourself. They were made in the time of dust. I'm like, oh, okay.
So they don't care about permanence. So the Hist, which are their guardian tree spirits, focus on now and the immediate future. So they build stick houses and stilt houses.
Right.
So they're really high up, so that the water level doesn't matter. If they are built on the ground, like the Lusty Argonian, which is a very well-known pub, they can be rebuilt quite easily because they're just made of sticks. So Zanmirs are ancient pyramids which predate the game entirely. They're Aztec-y Mayan type pyramids, and they've been spoken about before in the lore. So they've used that as source material for this. In other games such as Arena, they're mentioned, but this one is an Indiana Jones-esque treasure hunt style with quests.
Nice.
With traps, monsters.
Are you going to show me that, or?
No, we didn't go inside.
Oh, brilliant. Oh, you can't say it like that. So inside there, it's like an amazing Indiana Jones film. But back to the swamps.
We are going back to the swamps. So this is the Teeth of Sithis. So if you are an Elder Scrolls fan and you recognise Sithis, Sithis has been around for a while. It's a very old thing that they worship. But the Teeth of Sithis is above this waterfall, and it connects two separate Zanmirs. It's part of a delve that's taken over by vampires who are sacrificing people to Sithis.
Oh, and that's one of the two delves.
Mm-hmm. And you have to deal with them as part of the quest. You enter through the waterfall, go up through one Zanmir, and over the bridge into the other one. So
that sounds exciting.
Yeah, we didn't do that either.
Okay, great. Come on, tell me something else.
So, Sithis. Argonians used to worship Sithis before they realised that stone and permanence isn't quite for them, hence the time of dust. But they don't forget their past, and they still honour Sithis and their ancestors. So that's nice. And here we have an Argonian bard playing the Vasotl, I hope I got the pronunciation right.
Vasotl?
Which is basically frog bagpipes.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah,
that is what a racket that's making.
All connected, all are one.
It's a disgusting racket, isn't it? So if you look at the front, the Argonian is teasing frogs with various pheromones to make them croak out certain notes.
Of course.
And you can actually help create one of these in an independent content quest.
Oh,
which
also... I'd love to have one of these. I think I saw someone playing one of these on the Young Musician of the Year a few years ago on the BBC. The Vasotl.
The famous Vasotl.
Dreadful.
There's also an Argonian game called Hip and Tail Ball, which is part football. So this is obviously American soccer, so it's part football, part soccer, which are two different sports in America, aren't they?
Right, yes, of course.
So
it's part football, part American football.
Yes, and part audience participation, and you can basically listen to Argonians speaking about it, and you'll find out more about the history.
It doesn't look thrilling to watch. Is it basically keepy uppy?
Yeah.
Right.
Basically.
What's the bit which is like American football?
We didn't see any of that.
It's like keepy uppy, except every once in a while someone will just pile drive into you and concuss you. Yeah. Awesome.
All we saw is this lovely Argonian playing a bit of keepy uppy, but a little bit of lore there. You heard me talking about corpses.
Yes,
zombies.
And you mentioned you were going to tell us about necromancy.
Yes, so necromancy is like the worst thing for an Argonian. They're just like, no, this is bad. Because
I think most people are. Isn't that how most people was going to deal with it? Everyone else is like, I'm kind of on the fence about necromancy. So let's see how it plays out.
Argonians believe that when they die, they will be reincarnated, but obviously necromancy kind of stops that from happening.
Of course.
Yeah, so they have grave stakes, which are like totem poles, that they carve throughout their life, telling their story of themselves, and then when they die, their corpse is planted in the swamp, and then they're staked down with their grave stake.
Oh, that's quite good.
Yeah, so you die and then you
get
the
story of your life kind of keeps you permanently dead. Oh,
so it is very poetic. So the necromancers take these grave stakes and reanimate the dead.
Oh, so it's as simple as just plucking them out.
Pretty much.
Oh, that was a huge design flaw.
Yeah, they probably should have thought of a different way of keeping it in there. And there's also a focus on two main tribes, Deadwater, which is located in the most dangerous part of Murkmire, They reside in ancient ruins. Again, we've got some people down the bottom of the screen because my capture failed for this as well. Right. Sorry, everyone. They're tadpole-looking Argonians. They've got like a slightly different face, so they're called Naga. And then we've got the Bright Throats, who I didn't see, but they're not good warriors, but the Deadwater are really good warriors, and they just care about fighting, and they're xenophobic.
The Nagas are good at fighting and xenophobic.
Yeah.
While the Bright Throats, they just want to chill with the old Vossotl all day.
At the lusty Argonian.
I'm a lot more of a Bright Throat, I think.
But there are a lot of mysteries that have been uncovered in Murkmire, like reproduction. People have always wondered how Argonians have reproduced.
I don't know. Personally, it's one of those mysteries that it can remain unsolved as far as I'm concerned.
Remain a mystery.
I don't look at it and go, well, I wonder how that thing came to be. I wonder what the birth process of that is like.
The culture is really interesting to me, and I think the lore behind Murkmire is quite fascinating.
Yeah, it's good that they're adding like big chunks of filling in some gaps, I guess, that people didn't already know, and kind of making sure all the different kind of races are kind of better kind of represented in the game. That's decent.
Hello, Matthew. Welcome to my crib.
Oh, nice.
Yeah,
I get that reference.
Do you?
That's a reference.
Yeah.
Yeah, good.
Yeah. A reference is a loose reference. Welcome to Lakemire. This is my Zanmir Manor. Yeah. It's pretty swish. I mean, excuse the darkness. Again, this is still afternoon.
Yeah, this place has got real problems with light. It's kind of bumming me out.
So it exists above the lake, but then when you go inside, your house is below the lake. And and as you can see here, we've got little fish and anemones where the windows are, so you can see out into the lake, and you can have a look at it furnished and unfurnished.
Is this not just like a very extreme rising damp that they're trying to sell as a feature? And you're like, half the water seems to be sunken. No, it's like half of the house exists below the lake, and you're like, yeah, we call that flooding, but cheers for taking my money, I guess. Unbelievable.
But there's a cool little whirlpool at the back, which is basically the back garden door, which is pretty swish, and it kind of makes a swish noise because it's watery.
You'd be a terrible estate agent. I can't believe you're trying to sell me a door as being an interesting feature. You're like, check out a door, man. Great.
It's a whirlpool, though. You
go
through a whirlpool out into the garden. If you look over the edge of the waterfall that's in the end of your garden, you can see the rest of Murkmire.
Oh, it's very nice.
However,
it's very nice.
Due to the darkness.
Yeah, you can't really see anything.
And also,
literally anything.
And also, if you get too close, you can fall off and die.
Oh,
so.
This is a terrible feature. This is dangerous. It's dangerous if you've got kids. Like,
it is.
Stay away. Show me something less cozy.
Less cozy. How about a prison, Matthew?
Oh.
How does that sound? Welcome to Black Rose Prison.
Nice.
This is a PvP arena where it has a new 4-person leaderboard, and you fight through 5 different cell blocks / arenas, and you get your own set of arena weapons for each one, and you get new power-ups. You can resurrect teammates, for example. You get new sets of weapons and new armor sets. So
I'm not seeing any of this exciting action.
No, I didn't go inside.
Oh, again.
Just hung around in the lobby.
Oh man, I tell you what, if you wanted a guided tour of the outside of interesting places, this is the video for you.
Yeah, pretty much. One of our tour guides was running around in one of the new sets of armor, which is quite cool.
Right.
So there's a heavy set.
A new kind of battle mode. I'm just guessing you can go in whenever and just try your hand at fighting through it.
Yeah, just like a general arena mode, I suppose. Yeah, you can get a new light armor, medium armor, and heavy armor from that as well. So it's quite cool. I mean, it is a prison. It's got a bit of backstory as well, but I can't quite remember what it is.
It's unusual. You're a walking Wikipedia for this stuff. I guess we can look inside in our own time. This is live now. I think I'm right in thinking.
Yeah.
Well, thank you for that tour of Murkmire. I thoroughly enjoyed seeing the outside of lots of buildings and hearing about all the lore from the walking Wikipedia.
Well, you're most welcome.
This is available now. We'll put some comment details in the description box about how you can access it and whatnot. If you enjoyed this video, please do let us know in the comments. If you want to see more about Elder Scrolls Online on the channel, do let us know in the comments, and I will set one of the team to work on playing hundreds of hours so that we can make regular videos about it. Alice is looking frightened at the prospect. And please do subscribe to Rock Paper Shotgun. We cover all things PC gaming related, from Elder Scrolls Online to we've got a nice review of Thronebreaker on here. Alice took a look at Weedcraft Inc. recently, which is worth checking out too. So yeah, lots of good stuff. We hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you, Alice, for being such an excellent tour guide.
Thank you for listening.
That's fine. And we'll hopefully see everyone soon.
Bye
Bye for now.